being here. Can I put my mask on just so I can speak here? Yeah, Governor.
He did in Washington, why not in there?
I want to thank you for this opportunity. I want to thank yourself. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor and the whole team for being here today. This is really important for me. When we started having the conversation about these 2030 sessions and how we could, talk about how this spending is going to be done and what the future of Rhode Island is going to be, for me, it was really important that Central Falls was part of this conversation. Being the hardest hit community, seeing our businesses struggling, seeing the lack of housing here in Central Falls, it was important that we had this session here in Central Falls and give the residents of Central Falls an opportunity to voice your opinion of what should happen in the future here. And I have to thank you, Governor, because as soon as I seen that we're going to start hosting this, I reached out to your office and right away they confirmed to have a session here in Central Falls. So again, thank you all for being here tonight. And I'll pass it over to the Commerce Secretary, Stephen Breyer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Rivera. Thank you for being with us from the origin of Governor McKee's 2030 process, from our earliest brainstorming sessions through to the discussions themselves. I'm Stephen Pryor, Governor McKee's Commerce Secretary, and what we're going to do tonight is hear from the Governor and the Lieutenant Governor, and then we're going to explain the procedure for tonight, and then we're going to break up into groups and have our actual discussions. So I'll come and explain further, but without further ado, I want to introduce our Governor, Dan McKee.
Yeah.
Hey! When we having a party then? I want to dance with you.
Respect for everybody here, a little courtesy.
I'm sorry.
please.
It's just hard.
First of all, I'd like to,
It's really hard.
thank the mayor.
You're
As a
just
lifelong
such a
Blackstone
hypocrite,
Valley guy, I'm glad to be here right in the city, of Central Falls, and that Cumberland borders Central Falls, and as mayor of, former mayor, I give a big shout out to Mayor Rivera for her leadership, so thank you so much. You've been an amazing example of a proactive and engaged community leader, so Central Falls is very lucky to have you, and the state of Rhode Island is as well. I'm also joined by our Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, and members of the cabinet, and I just want to point out that to have face-to-face with members of the leaders that really manage the different departments in the state of Rhode Island, that's the purpose of these meetings as well. A one-on-one or a group talking to our leaders about what 2030 is going to be and the role that we all are going to play in that. So we've been conveying to Rhode Islanders in every corner of the state to hear their vision of what Rhode Island could look like in 2030, and we truly believe that the time for these discussions is right now. And because right now we are embarking on an historic recovery, Rhode Island has a once-in-a-generation opportunity to address issues that we've struggled with prior to COVID and during COVID.
Will you stay this time to listen?
We can address, courtesy.
Will you stay this time? That's all I want to know. Will you stay this time?
We can address housing.
Dan, will you stay this time?
Would you like to leave?
I just want you to
We just
answer
want to know if you're
that.
going to hear our
Will you
concerns.
hear us this time?
We'll
Please.
bring somebody in to have
Please
you
hear
leave.
us. No, I want you to hear us. We've been
So-
chasing you for 3 months. You've been.
have to wait. You're gonna have to wait.
What else
until
do
he
we
gets
have to
a
do? He leaves every
You're
time.
gonna have to wait until he's finished.
What are we supposed to do? He's going on
going to
vacation.
He's going on vacation after
He's
today.
going on vacation. He just
You're going
extended
to
the state
He
of
leaves every
emergency.
single time.
If you're gonna disrupt, you gotta go.
Speaker,
You're going to
guys,
disrupt.
I'll stop. I'll stop. I'm
Well,
sorry.
then we'll leave.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're trying to be heard. We've been chasing him around for 3 months, nothing. He spoke to a nurse at CCRI, took her information, didn't even call her. And the only thing that mattered was, if she worked at Eleanor Slater.
3 months.
You know what I mean? I'll leave. That's what's up.
3 months.
We'll be back though.
I'm not leaving.
Let's go.
I'm not leaving.
Stay. If you can stay,
Let's go, man.
I want my governor to listen to me. I've been chasing him for 3 months. I just want to know if you're going to stay this time, Dan. Please just answer one question.
Of course not. We don't.
We don't matter.
He's not gonna make it out.
Fine, let's leave the
You just
call.
extended the state of emergency. You
Hey,
extended
Dan.
the muzzle
How's
mandate
those
for our kids.
investigations going?
And it
Let's
was
go,
dance
Brandon.
parties on the weekend. And one time left. 100 people. You're not going to listen. What are we supposed to do? 3 months we've been chasing you, Dan. I'm ready.
All right, thank you so much for your patience here. Certainly everybody's welcome to be in there if they provide the courtesy that everybody deserves.
Like for real, I would have avoided all of these. I'm a nurse without a job. Without a job. 10 years. Immigrated to this country. Without a job. Obtain my license. I learned English and I don't have a job. And you have refused to address everybody. So all of these, you have been avoided. If you to address it. That's all. It's simple. Address people. It could.
Okay, we're ready to go. So tonight we're going to discuss the opportunities that we have here in Rhode Island, and we have an opportunity right now to do some very important things for our state. Just yesterday I was at the White House with President Biden when he signed the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It's a game changer for us in many ways for Rhode Island when it comes to repairing our roads and bridges, expanding broadband and enhancing public transit, and much more, and while creating good paying jobs for all Rhode Islanders. Because of the many opportunities ahead, we created this Rhode Island 2030 plan. And again, to have you here tonight with leaders in our state that are managing the state every day, this is a great opportunity to interact in small crowds and big crowds, clearly here to listen to you. We're now taking this document on the road. It's a compilation of many hours of work, but it's a draft document. And what we determined early on was that we weren't going to have a super committee determining some of the most important things that we can work on as a state. We felt as though that it was a document that all people should have an opportunity to weigh in on. So we're in a good place in Rhode Island right now. The economy is second in the country in terms of the Moody's back to normal index. Our vaccination rates are some of the highest in the nation. 92% of all our adults in Rhode Island partially vaccinated. We're second in the nation in percentage of population fully vaccinated. And I say, look, if you have friends that aren't vaccinated, ask them to get vaccinated. And if they decline, ask them to thank somebody who has been vaccinated, because the people who are vaccinated are keeping the unvaccinated safe as well. So I just want to say that it's great to be here. I think that together we continue the momentum. Central Falls is a very important community, as Blackstone Valley is, all of Blackstone Valley, and to have the mayor's leadership here tonight, we're looking forward to the interaction that we'll have. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to our Lieutenant Governor, Sabrina.
Good evening. Actually, we're going to start announcing that if anyone needs translation, we have that available. Si alguien necesita interpretación al español, traducción, tenemos traducción acá. Shirley está allá atrás con la traducción si la necesita para el español. All right, so welcome all. I'm so glad that all of you took the time to come here and give us your feedback and your opinion about what you think about the plan that Governor McKee and myself put out about this 2030 plan. We have a draft of document. It's not completed until we hear from all of you. We had about 13 conversations that were done electronically using the Zoom platform. And many of you participated that way, and we heard from all of you, and we did our best to compile those feedback and the experts that we brought from outside, and also more than 50 local experts that participated on those conversations. I was co-hosting most of those conversations with the Secretary of Commerce, Stephen Pryor, and we really had a good time doing that work. But we learned a lot from the experts that were there. All that information was organized by the URI Research Foundation, and we have to thank the department chair, Leon Malloy, who's here. Leon is back there. Thank you so much for the work that you and your team did. So they put together this plan, which is just a draft. We want to hear from you. Some of you probably already had access to it. It's available in the website, ri2030.com. And if you have not had that opportunity, right now, All of you have that flyer that you got when you came in. There is a code in there, a QR code that you could scan with your phone, and that will take you with the, directly to the plan. It's available in English and Spanish, so you can go and look at the plan if you haven't have that opportunity yet. Also, we have an opportunity for you to provide us feedback with an online form. And that code also is going to take you there. That code can take you so you can give us feedback about the plan. So tonight we want to hear what do you think, your reaction to the plan, what we got right, what you think is missing, what should be added. And please give us your honest feedback about the things that we can do to make sure that this plan reflects the voices of all of you. If by any chance you don't feel comfortable speaking here in public, please just make sure that you go to the computer and send us your feedback through the electronic form. With that, I'm just going to turn it over to the Secretary of Commerce, my co-host, Stephen Pryor.
Thank you, co-host. Governor and Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much for your leadership, for guiding us through this process, the 13 different digital community conversations, and now these 5 in-person community conversations. We're very grateful. Mayor Rivera, thank you again for hosting us. It's indeed a pleasure, and we partner on so many things. We are truly grateful, Mayor. So you've heard from the Governor and the Lieutenant Governor that this truly, as it exists, is a draft plan. It's a framework that our administration, across 10 topic areas, is using to make its more specific plans in those areas. And it's also a framework that we are using to help evaluate proposals for the use of the new federal dollars, the American Rescue Plan dollars, future infrastructure dollars, and we hope yet additional dollars that are to come. We see displayed on the screen the 10 topic areas. If you have to squint and it's not too easy to see, it's understandable. Please feel free to use your phones and pull up ri2030.com, www.ri2030.com. You can pull up the full plan, 50 plus pages, and turn to the section you're interested in. And of course you can, as the Lieutenant Governor indicated, even if you want to in the course of tonight, you can send us your comments right via that website in addition to or instead of the discussions that we're going to hold this evening. These 10 topic areas cover the gamut of issues that our state is grappling with and prioritizing. Tonight we're going to break up into groups that cluster them in ways that enable us to have conversations only a few parts of the room. But we're also going to hear from cabinet officials under Governor McKee who are going to talk to us a little bit about individual topic areas and help to give a taste of what's in the report and get our juices flowing to have these conversations this evening. So we're going to hear from cabinet officials. Then I'm going to explain just a bit more about how we're going to break up into these clustered topics, and we're going to have our conversations. So now, as to the topic areas, I'm going to ask that we advance the slides. And we land on supporting small businesses, a signature issue for the Governor and the Lieutenant Governor. We had extensive conversations around how to support small businesses here in Central Falls and around the entire state of Rhode Island. And we heard a variety of information. I'm going to pull out the third bullet that you see displayed and say it out loud for illustration. Small businesses confront multiple barriers that impede their long-term success. We know this is true, especially in areas like licensing, zoning, regulatory compliance, and access to capital. Trying to go through these hurdles to start a small business and to maintain a business can still be hard in Rhode Island. Some of those barriers have fallen over the years, but they're still challenging. What can we do to get to an even better place? So what's our goal? Our goal is by the next decade, 2030 and beyond, Rhode Island will have a thriving, vibrant, and diverse small business ecosystem that has emerged stronger and more resilient from the global pandemic and is a key driver of opportunity, job creation, and economic growth for Rhode Island. If you go inside the bigger report, not on the slide here, but inside the 50-plus page report where we get into greater detail, there is a specific recommendation that ties to the observation I mentioned that we heard from Rhode Islanders in our digital community conversations. And that recommendation is this: continue to ease licensing and permitting requirements and reduce costs to encourage additional small business formation and otherwise improve the business climate. And it goes on to provide some detail. So that's how we've gone about the creation of this document. We're now going to hear from some of my cabinet colleagues about some of the other topics that are within the report, again, to give us some flavor and to get us started. And I'm very pleased that the Executive Director of Rhode Island Housing, Carol Ventura, is here to talk about the very crucial issue of housing. Carol, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and Mayor for hosting us here tonight. I'm happy to talk with you about housing, one of my favorite topics. Prioritizing housing is critical. We know now more than ever how important a safe, affordable home is coming through the pandemic, right? This is where our children did their schooling. It's where many of us work, so it's vital that every Rhode Islander has a safe, affordable home. One of the goals that has come out of this whole plan for prioritizing housing is by the next decade, Rhode Island will have a growing and ever-improving housing stock that is affordable and accessible and meets the needs of all Rhode Islanders. That's so impactful, meets the needs of all Rhode Islanders. And it's a challenge. Housing affordability, and I'm taking this right from what we've heard, housing affordability is a statewide challenge. It's not limited to the urban cores. It's all across our state. Affordability is a statewide challenge across all incomes. It's not just our extremely low-income folks. It's people across all sectors, workforce folks who can't afford to find a home to buy, a place to rent, but especially for low and moderate income households, and particularly for our most vulnerable residents. So I look forward to hearing from all of you tonight on your thoughts and ideas in response to the thoughts and ideas we've heard from other folks across the state and this far-reaching goal that's been set forth in this plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. And I do have to note that Mayor Rivera in particular has been a leader on the issue of housing, has her own compiled plan for how to advance affordable housing here in Central Falls, and has been helping the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and myself shape the future of housing in Rhode Island. So thank you very much again, Mayor. Now we turn to the slide on public health and wellness, and we are truly privileged that Dr. Nicole Alexander-Scott is with us for this particular session. I want to note that Dr. Alexander-Scott has guided us at every turn in the course of this pandemic, and it's personally and professionally a pleasure to work with her every single day. She truly is the leader that we've needed, and working with the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, she continues to guide this state. Thank you, Nicole, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. It's important for us to ensure that enhancing public health and wellness is a key component to this. We often say that it's the public's health that we are looking to uplift and maintain. But with this and what we've heard back, there's a clear understanding that it's not only ensuring that we can deliver on the services to optimize the public's health, but we also need to ensure that the public health workforce has the resources and support to be able to do that, many of which involve community level engagement and support. So one of the key points we heard from you and the communities are the focus on race equity, health access, and addressing determinants of health, such as access to safe and affordable housing, as well as behavioral health, which we know is a critical piece for us to enhance and focus on. And so our goal is, over the next decade, to leverage the tools that we have. We have infrastructure such as health equity zones,
with the spearheading every single day of Dr. Alexander Scott. Rhode Island just got a big grant from the federal government, $87 million to build a new health lab. So congratulations, Dr. Alexander Scott. Congratulations for that. Just came through. So next, workforce development and post-secondary education. Commissioner Shannon, Gilkey, making a repeat appearance. Thank you for being such a part of this process, sir. Commissioner.
Thank you. It's great to be in a high school again. I started my career off as a high school career technical teacher in Kentucky. You might listen to me a little bit and realize I don't have an accent that's quite like Rhode Island just yet, but I'm getting there. But I'm happy to be here. Let me tell you a statistic we know about Rhode Island is that 72% of the jobs that will be available to Rhode Islanders by 2030, which is where the governor is leading us, will require an experience beyond high school. So what I used to tell my high school students back 10 years ago is that you need something more than just that high school diploma. That might not look like sitting in a dorm for 4 years, going to classes. That post-secondary experience might be an apprenticeship, might be a trade, might be a training through a trade. But we all of those need to lead to a good job. So we have to figure out a way for all of our Rhode Islanders to have a pathway beyond a high school experience. And so that's where we're headed. We're working towards an integrated higher education and post-secondary system. And what that looks like is that when you, as you're starting to graduate high school, you may take dual credit. You may get into an apprenticeship. But it leads to that post-secondary credential that has a job waiting for it at the end. And that's what we're committed to, both on the higher ed side, at the K-12 side, my partner, Commissioner Green, as well as our Director, Matt Weldon, at Labor and Training. Some of the things that we heard from you in the 2030 plan, and one of them I want to call out, is that a lot of this work is really integrated together. And the third bullet I want to focus on is that there's challenges outside just education that lead to having an educational experience like childcare, housing, and if we can invest in those things, it's going to free up a lot of our higher education schools and our K-12 schools to actually deliver education, because we know there's more need than just sitting in a classroom. And so this integration of the work together is really going to help us move forward, and I look forward to hearing the feedback about how we can build on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I want to recognize that the Director of Administration, Jim Thorson, is here, who's been instrumental to this whole 2030 process, instrumental from the beginning. Thank you, sir. And last but definitely not least, infrastructure and transportation. We're so pleased that Rhode Island was honored in that Governor McKee was at the White House just yesterday with the President of the United States as he signed the infrastructure bill for this nation. Repeat visit to the White House in only a few weeks for our governor. That's the priority with which our administration, the McKee administration, has made infrastructure and transportation. A big part of creating such infrastructure is ensuring that we don't have emergencies that cause collapses or problems or anything of that nature, and also that we have the infrastructure we need to respond to emergencies. And we're so pleased that our Emergency Management Director, Mark Hoppus, is here to discuss infrastructure and transportation. Please come on up, sir.
Thank you, Secretary Bryant. Thank you, Governor McKee, Lieutenant Governor, Matos, Mayor. So I'm very happy to be here. I grew up in Central Falls. My mom and her family are from here, so I'm excited to be here in Central Falls again. And I'm happy to talk about infrastructure, critical infrastructure and transportation, because you can imagine being the Emergency Management Director, critical infrastructure is something we do all the time. There are 16 sectors as part of critical infrastructure, and it's our job to make sure that there is a mitigation or no disruption to those essential services that make all of us move every single day. Roads, transportation, financial services, and all the different sectors. And as Secretary Pryor alluded to, a major disruption of those is a major disruption in our lives. So for the slide, and then Governor McKee's 2030 plan, by the next decade, Rhode Island will have a state-of-the-art infrastructure and a 21st century transportation system that improves quality of life, connects all Rhode Islanders, integrates Rhode Island with a broader region, and drives economic growth over the long term. That's a lofty goal, but it's doable. And one bullet that I took is important to me, and I think I'd like to share with you, is that we have to think broadly about infrastructure needs. It's the second bullet, focusing not only on traditional areas like transportation. You see our roads and bridges being worked on now, but also areas like housing, historic buildings, hospitals, and foundational broadband connectivity. Improved access to broadband across all of Rhode Island is essential for equitable development. So I'm going to be over there, happy to talk to anybody here who wants to listen about critical infrastructure. Thank you for your time. We're happy to get to that.
Thank you, Director. Thank you all cabinet officials, key team members for being here this evening. All right, we're concluded with the presentation. We're ready to move on to the breakout groups. The way this works this evening is let's display the slide with the groups. Perfect. There are 5 topic areas. I'm going to ask cabinet officials and other state staff to go ahead and proceed to those areas right now as I'm talking. So go ahead and to your sections. Topic area 1 is with Commissioner Gilkey. Thank you once again, Commissioner. Topic area, that is children, families, and education, including K-12 education and post-secondary education and workforce development. Topic area 2 is Hannah Moore, Chief of Staff in Commerce. Thank you again, Hannah, for all of your involvement with this process in that area. Topic area 3 is housing, and you've heard from Carol Ventura. She will be in that area. Topic area 4, Dr. Alexander Scott and Director Charest, both for public health and wellness and climate. Both public health and wellness and climate in topic area 4. In topic area 5, Director Pappas, with whom you just heard, and Director Coyne-Fig will be doing infrastructure, transportation, and if there's another topic, in addition to infrastructure or transportation or any other, you can head to topic area 5 if your idea or your thought or your challenge or your concept doesn't fit into these other topic areas. Please go to topic area 5. So I'm going to ask these directors and cabinet officials to raise their hands again. Topic area 1, where are you? Topic area 1, Commissioner Gilkey, there you are. Topic area 2, Hannah Moore, where are you? There's Hannah Moore in the back. Carol Ventura, topic area 3. Director Charest and Dr. Alexander Scott, topic area 4. Right there. And topic area 5, Director Coyne-Fig and Director Pappas. Right over there. You can see them again on the screen. Participants in the audience, we're going to spend about 20 minutes in each section, go wherever you're interested, and we're going to have discussions around these topic areas. There are yellow sticky notes that you can use to write down your ideas and put them up on the big sheets. Or you can just talk about them and we'll write them down. After about 20 minutes, we're going to come back and hear report outs from these different 5 groups. And then we're going to see if there are any comments or questions that didn't get mentioned that you still want to add, which we're going to do that together. So right now, go ahead and break up into the groups you're interested in. Go ahead and proceed to those sections. You can go there right now and start these conversations for about 20 minutes. If at any time you just want to write an idea into us on the website, you can just do it on your phone at ri2050.com. But for now, go ahead and start your conversations. We're very grateful. See you in about 20 minutes.
Mr. Pryor, where's Mr. Gilkey?
Sorry about that, Bob?
Where's Mr. Gilkey right now?
Yes.
Where's
Mr. Gilkey, he's here.
Hold on. I'll tell you where to go back. Hold on.
Number 1 right there. Here, right there. There it is. Past the little floral deck.
Nice.
So you're going to be nice.
Oh, damn. Although Dan,
You told me that the DOT director was head for my house.
Right. He's not here tonight. I want to say hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, in this case, you always say, you want to get under his skin, say, hey, pal. Just say that, okay?
I always like to be respected.
That's... Although Dan York said on the air that about me, for some reason, I don't know why I become... It's sort of like when you're a ref at an NFL game, they know your name. Huh? So he went on like a half-hour diatribe about me on his show on the air. So I just did the polite thing. I called him. I'm like, correct him on the website and tweet him on my website and my Facebook group. And then he said before I got on the air that the press corps for Governor McKee doesn't like me.
He said that about you.
He said that about me. And they put up with me. And if I had any pride, dignity, or emotion left, I'd be hurt. No chance of that happening.
That is funny. If I have any pride, dignity, or emotion left,
I'd be hurt.
you crack me up.
Feel free to use that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's your own line.
That's a middle-aged guy, yeah. That's a middle-aged guy thing.
Good day? Good day?